All right, so you guys wanted a deep dive on Screw It, Let's Do It by Richard Branson, and that's exactly what we're going to do today.
Buckle up.
Yeah, this is not like your typical business book, you know, with charts and graphs and all that. It's more like Branson just kind of sharing his life story and the lessons he's learned along the way.
Yeah, it's really fascinating how he uses these personal anecdotes, these almost unbelievable adventures sometimes, to illustrate his philosophy on life and success.
Right, and he's definitely earned that Dr. Yes nickname, haven't you think?
Absolutely.
For a reason.
It's not just theory, it's lived experience. And you can really feel that coming through on every page.
Yeah, and we see all these themes throughout the book, you know, like taking risks, obviously, the just do it attitude, building relationships, and having fun along the way. So let's just jump right into Branson's world, see what we can learn from his approach to, well, pretty much everything.
It's good to me.
Let's start with that just do it philosophy.
Yeah, that's more than just a catchy slogan for Branson. It's really woven into the fabric of his family history. You can kind of see where it comes from.
Yeah, his mom, Eve. What a force of nature.
Oh, yeah.
Talk about embodying that spirit. We're talking World War II, and she's out there pretending to be a pilot and then an air hostess, just bending the rules to get where she wants to go.
I mean, it's a fantastic illustration of Branson's point that you don't always need, like, the perfect credentials or qualifications to get started.
Sometimes you just got to figure it out.
Yeah, be resourceful and learn as you go.
And that's exactly what a 15-year-old Branson did when he launched Student Magazine. No experience, no problem. He just dove in headfirst, driven by that desire to prove all the doubters wrong.
I love that story.
It makes you wonder, you know, is there something that you've been putting off, maybe because you feel unqualified or unprepared or...
It's so easy to get caught up in that feeling.
It is.
Like you need to have everything figured out before you even begin.
Yeah.
But Branson's story shows us that sometimes.
Yeah.
You just have to take that leap of faith.
Exactly.
And figure it out along the way.
Now, this drive to push boundaries and take on challenges, it's something that Branson connects to his distant relative, Captain Robert Scott.
The Antarctic explorer.
Yes.
I love that connection.
So interesting.
It's almost as if this ambition, this willingness to venture into the unknown runs in the family.
Right.
And while Scott's expedition, you know, tragically ended in his death,
Yeah.
it still highlights the importance of pushing yourself.
Yeah.
Even if it doesn't always mean reaching the finish line first.
That's a good point. And that adventurous spirit really comes into play with the story of Virgin Atlantic. I mean, the entire airline was born out of a moment of frustration.
Yeah.
You know, he gets stranded in Puerto Rico, and instead of complaining, he charters a plane and turns it into a business.
Classic Branson.
Classic Branson.
Turning setbacks into opportunities.
Right.
And then you have those 2 attempts at winning the Blue Ribbon. The award for the fastest transatlantic crossing.
Oh, yeah.
The first try ends with the boat literally sinking.
Oh, my gosh.
But does that stop Branson?
Of course.
No. 6 years later, battling exhaustion and setbacks, he rallies his crew, and they manage to break the record.
I mean, talk about resilience.
It's incredible.
Perseverance, never giving up, even when things look bleak.
Exactly.
It's amazing. But these stories are absolutely wild, but they bring up a really crucial point about Branson's just do it philosophy. It's not about recklessness. It's about calculated risks.
Right. There's a clear distinction.
And he makes that very clear.
Yeah, and he demonstrates this perfectly on his show, The Rebel Billionaire. With that coin toss challenge.
Right.
Remember that one?
Oh, yeah.
The winner have to choose. Walk away with $1 million or flip a coin for a mystery prize. Risking it all.
$1 million.
Yeah, it's a tough choice.
Talk about a dilemma.
And Branson, being Branson, refuses to give any advice.
Oh, of course.
Forcing the contestant to really think about their own risk tolerance.
Right. What are they comfortable with?
Exactly.
What's their appetite?
Yeah.
For risk?
And the reveal. The mystery prize was actually quite valuable. But the real lesson was about making that calculated decision, not just blindly going for what seems exciting or cool.
Yeah, sometimes the flashy choice isn't the best choice.
Right.
It's about really assessing the situation.
Absolutely.
Right.
And understanding your own risk appetite before diving into anything.
Right.
Whether it's business or life in general.
And yet there's the story of Richard Ellis and his flying machine. And that's a really sobering reminder that even Branson's enthusiasm for the new and untested can have tragic consequences.
Yeah, it's a cautionary tale.
Right.
That adds another layer to his approach to risk.
Yeah, boldness, yes, but not without careful consideration.
Exactly.
Then there's Virgin Atlantic, a massive risk.
Huge undertaking.
But he didn't just jump in blindly.
No, he did his research.
Right.
Sought advice from Freddie Laker, a veteran airline entrepreneur, and built a strong team around him.
Right, he did his homework. But even with all that preparation, there were challenges.
Absolutely.
Remember British Airways and their dirty tricks campaign?
Oh, yeah.
Against Virgin?
That was brutal.
Branson, usually the advocate for not complaining, he fought back hard.
Yeah, he had to.
It shows that even when you're all about fairness and respect, there's a limit. Sometimes you have to stand up and protect what you've built.
Absolutely. It's a valuable lesson for all of us. How do we approach risk in our own lives? Are we considering the potential downsides, the what-ifs, before jumping in? And are we prepared to fight for what we believe in?
That's a great point. It's about finding that balance. But this brings us to another crucial aspect of Branson's philosophy, and this might surprise you. He believes that fun is an essential ingredient for success.
Not just a byproduct of it.
Right.
It's like essential.
He even says that he loses interest in a venture if it's not enjoyable.
Wow. For work and play are intertwined.
Right.
And he believes that incorporating fun into everything you do is key to staying motivated and engaged.
This belief stems all the way back to his childhood. Remember the story about the Christmas trees?
Ah, yes, the Christmas tree venture gone wrong.
Yeah, the rabbits ate all the seedlings, but instead of seeing it as a failure, they pivoted and sold the rabbits for a profit.
And turned the whole thing into this humorous anecdote.
Right.
It's classic Branson, adapting to unexpected situations. And finding a way to make it fun and profitable.
Adaptability and a good sense of humor.
Those are key Branson traits.
For sure. But speaking of unexpected turns, Branson's trip to Jamaica wasn't just about reggae and sunshine. It actually led to the discovery of toasters, those early rappers, which he quickly signed, proving that sometimes the best opportunities arise when you're simply having fun.
Exploring new things.
Exploring new things, keeping it light.
That's the key.
And this is where the story takes a truly Branson-esque twist. This Jamaica trip was initially meant to be a romantic getaway with Joan, his girlfriend at the time. Their search for a secluded paradise led them to, wait for it, Necker Island.
A whole island.
An entire island. And Branson, ever the bold negotiator, makes a ridiculously low offer for the island.
He gets practically laughed out of the room.
And this is crucial. That boldness, that willingness to go for it sometimes pays off.
Big time.
Big time.
Years later, Necker Island becomes Branson's private paradise. But it's more than just a luxurious getaway. It symbolizes how seemingly unrelated events, driven by his pursuit of fun and adventure, can lead to life-changing outcomes.
That is so true. It makes you wonder, how can you inject more enjoyment into your own work or projects? Is there room for a Branson-style shakeup?
Right. Are we taking ourselves too seriously?
I think sometimes we do.
Maybe it's time to loosen up a bit.
Yeah. I like how we're getting a real sense of how Branson operates. He's clearly a go-getter, someone who jumps in head first. But it's not just blind faith. There's a strategy involved. He does his research, assembles the right team. He's not afraid to fight back when necessary.
There's a method to the madness, a calculated approach to his screw it, let's do it philosophy.
Exactly, and that's something we can all learn from. It's about finding that balance between taking calculated risks and knowing when to hold back. It's about finding the fun in what you do and remembering that even setbacks can be turned into opportunities.
Love it.
So take a moment, reflect on what we've discussed so far, and think about how you can apply these lessons to your own life. We'll be back soon to delve even deeper into Branson's world and see what other nuggets of wisdom we can unearth.
Can't wait. Welcome back to our deep dive into Screw It, Let's Do It. We've been exploring Branson's unconventional approach to success, how his just do it spirit has led him to some incredible achievements.
It's been quite a ride so far, right?
Oh, yeah.
But there's another key ingredient to his success that we need to explore, and that is his relentless pursuit of challenge.
He seems to thrive on it.
It's not just about achieving a goal for Branson, it's about pushing his own limits, constantly testing himself both in business and in his personal life.
And you can see this fascination with challenge, this pushing of boundaries.
Yeah.
Throughout his life, it's a thread that runs from his childhood all the way to the present.
Yeah, even as a kid, we see this determination. In the story of the swimming bet,
Oh, yeah.
he struggles at first, but he keeps at it, refusing to give up.
It's a great lesson in persistence.
It shows how even small victories can boost your confidence and set the stage for bigger challenges down the road.
Absolutely, those early wins are so important.
They really are.
And let's not forget his triumph over dyslexia, winning that school essay contest despite this learning difference.
Such a powerful message.
Really inspiring for anyone facing obstacles that seem insurmountable.
It really is. Branson shows us that with effort and determination, we can overcome challenges that initially seem daunting.
For sure.
And then there's that epic Pacific balloon crossing with Per Lindstrand.
Talk about pushing boundaries.
I mean, this is where it gets real. Near-death experiences,
Right.
extreme conditions, and just sheer willpower.
Makes you realize just how much we can endure when we push ourselves
Right.
beyond our comfort zones.
But the balloon crossing wasn't just about physical endurance.
No, it also highlighted the importance of teamwork.
Right.
Branson and Lindstrand had very different personalities, but they had to rely on each other, to trust each other, to survive.
It makes you think about how sometimes you have to set those differences aside
Yeah, for the greater good,
and come together as a team.
especially when you're facing a challenge as big as crossing the Pacific in a balloon.
Yeah, no kidding. But Branson's story also underscores this idea of standing on your own 2 feet.
Self-reliance.
Right, and that might seem kind of contradictory to the idea of teamwork. But for Branson, it's not about going it alone all the time.
It's about cultivating that inner strength,
Yeah.
that sense of independence that allows you to face challenges head on.
And know you can handle them,
Exactly.
even if you might need to seek help along the way.
And this idea of self-reliance really stems from Branson's upbringing.
Right. His mom instilled in him the value of independence from a young age. Remember that story of the 50-mile bike ride?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that might seem a bit harsh to some, but it really emphasizes the importance of developing resilience and resourcefulness.
Even when there's no immediate reward
Right.
or praise.
It's about building that inner confidence, that belief in your own abilities.
That will carry you through difficult times.
Exactly. And this entrepreneurial spirit wasn't limited to Richard. It was a family affair.
Oh, yeah. His mother had her own ventures.
And his Aunt Claire ran a successful sheep-themed business.
And with that catchy song.
I love that story. It shows how this belief in self-sufficiency, creating your own path, was ingrained in their family culture.
But this fierce independence sometimes clashed with the corporate world.
Yeah, remember when Branson took Virgin public?
And then later bought back the shares.
Even though it was a huge financial hit.
He just felt stifled by the bureaucracy.
The endless meetings, the lack of control.
For Branson, autonomy, the freedom to make his own decisions and follow his own vision, was more valuable than simply maximizing profits.
And that decision to go private again, to essentially buy back his freedom, I think it resonates with anyone who has ever felt trapped by a system or job or an organization that doesn't align with their values.
It highlights the importance of recognizing when you need to make a change,
Right.
even when it's a difficult or costly one, to reclaim your sense of autonomy.
And pursue what truly matters to you.
Exactly.
Are there areas in your own life where you're feeling stifled?
Maybe it's time to take a page from Branson's book.
Yeah.
And consider what changes you need to make to regain control and feel more aligned with your own goals and values.
Now, speaking of values, one theme that emerges powerfully from Branson's near-death experiences is this importance of living in the moment and embracing life fully, without regrets.
Right, he recounts those brushes with death, including that terrifying near crash over the Atlas Mountains.
Right. And it's amazing how those close calls made him appreciate the simple things even more. A beautiful sunrise, a quiet moment with loved ones.
It makes you think about all the things we rush through in our daily lives without truly savoring them.
We do.
We get so caught up in the hustle and bustle
Yeah.
that we forget to appreciate the little things.
And Branson even draws a contrast between his often hectic lifestyle and the simple routines of Japanese fishermen.
Yeah, he acknowledges that while he thrives on adventure and pushing boundaries, there's something to be said for finding contentment in everyday moments.
I like that. It's about finding that balance. Now, Branson's own grandmother is a wonderful example of someone who embraced life at any age.
Oh, she was known for her advanced dancing, her passion for golf,
Right.
and even her determination to read complex books like Stephen Hawking,
It's never too late to pursue new interests,
or to challenge yourself.
to find joy in the simple things.
Absolutely.
And even with his jam-packed schedule, Branson consciously carves out time for family and loved ones.
He instituted that 15-minute rule during vacations in South Africa,
Right, limiting business calls to just 15 minutes a day.
so he could truly be present with his family.
It's a powerful reminder that even the busiest among us can choose to prioritize connection and presence over constant hustle.
And distraction.
Think about your own life. Are there moments you're rushing through that could be savored more fully?
How can we incorporate Branson's perspective
Right.
into our own approach to time and relationships?
You know, it's interesting. We often think of Branson as this independent, go-it-alone kind of guy, but he also places a huge emphasis on the importance of family and team.
Absolutely.
And from his childhood stories, we see how his mother instilled in him the importance of considering others.
Putting the needs of guests and family first.
Right.
It's a lesson in empathy and kindness.
And it shapes his approach to relationships throughout his life.
Yeah, for sure.
Remember that story about the falling out with Nick, his friend and co-founder of Student Magazine?
Oh yeah, their eventual reconciliation really highlights the power of open communication and the importance of preserving relationships.
Even after disagreements.
It shows that honesty and a willingness to work through conflicts can ultimately strengthen bonds.
And Branson's loyalty extends beyond family and friends to his employees. We see this in his decision to promote Ken Berry, a shop clerk, all the way to CEO.
Shows Branson's belief in recognizing talent and potential, even in unexpected places.
Right, and nurturing that talent to help people grow within the company.
Exactly.
And then there's the story of Mike Oldfield, who finds out that his musical success is essentially funding other bands signed to Virgin.
It's a moment of tension, for sure.
But it also reveals Branson's commitment to his team, his willingness to invest in their dreams, even when it puts financial pressure on the company.
He's loyal to his people.
He really is.
And perhaps the most poignant example of that loyalty is his decision to sell Virgin Music to save the airline.
It was a heartbreaking choice.
But it demonstrated his unwavering commitment to his employees' livelihoods.
He put their needs above his own personal attachment to the music business.
It's a powerful lesson in leadership.
Recognizing that sometimes difficult choices have to be made.
For the greater good of the team.
How are you supporting and nurturing your own team?
Are there lessons from Branson's approach that you can apply to your own leadership style?
That's something to think about. All right, so we're back for the final part of our deep dive into Richard Branson's Screw It, Let's Do It.
It's been quite a journey, hasn't it?
Yeah, from those early entrepreneurial adventures
Yeah.
to his daring balloon crossings and his commitment to making a positive impact on the world.
It's remarkable how his story weaves together all these different threads.
Right.
Business, adventure, philanthropy. It's all there.
Yeah, it's not just about building a business empire. It's about living life on your own terms, pushing boundaries, embracing challenges, and using your success to make a difference.
And what's so striking is how he does it all with this infectious sense of fun and optimism.
It's like success doesn't have to be a grind. It can be an adventure, a source of joy.
A way to make a positive impact on the world.
Exactly. And one of the key takeaways for me is his emphasis on the importance of people, whether it's his family, his team at Virgin, or the people he's helped through his philanthropic work.
Yeah, Branson constantly highlights the power of human connection and collaboration.
Right.
Even though he's the face of Virgin, he's always acknowledging the contributions of those around him.
It's a good reminder that you don't have to do it all alone.
We need each other.
We do. And let's not forget his commitment to using his success for good. From responding to the Jordan refugee crisis to that hostage rescue mission in Iraq, Branson demonstrates that wealth and influence can be powerful tools for positive change.
He's not just writing checks, he's taking action, leveraging his resources,
Yeah.
and putting himself on the line to make a difference.
It's really inspiring to see how his philanthropic work has evolved over time.
Absolutely culminating in the creation of Virgin Unite.
Right, which empowers his employees to get involved in social impact initiatives.
It's like he's saying, look, we can all make a difference, no matter our position or resources.
That's a powerful message. It challenges us to find ways to contribute to something larger than ourselves. But as we've been discussing Branson's journey, one question keeps coming back to me. Can this externally driven approach to challenge, this constant pursuit of the next big thing, lead to burnout? He thrives on pushing boundaries and conquering new horizons. But is that sustainable in the long run?
That's a really interesting question. It's true that Branson seems to draw energy from external challenges, from pushing himself to the limit. But I think the key to his longevity, his ability to maintain that level of energy and enthusiasm, lies in his unwavering commitment to fun.
Right. If he's genuinely enjoying the process, the challenges themselves become a source of motivation and excitement, rather than a drain on his energy.
Exactly. It's about finding that sweet spot where challenge and enjoyment intersect.
It's about pursuing goals that align with your passions and values, so that the journey itself becomes a reward.
And I think that's something we can all learn from.
It's so easy to get caught up in the pursuit of achievement, that we forget to enjoy the ride.
Branson's story reminds us that success is a journey, not just a destination.
And that journey should be filled with passion, purpose, and of course, a healthy dose of fun.
So tell me, what are some of the things that you're going to do differently after reading this book?
That's a good question. I think for me, it's about remembering to not take myself too seriously, to embrace those challenges that come my way, and to find joy in the process.
I love that.
And of course, to always be on the lookout for new adventures.
That's the Branson way.
It is. What about you?
I think for me, it's about remembering the importance of people, building strong relationships, and creating a supportive team. Because at the end of the day, that's what really matters.
Couldn't agree more.
Richard Branson's Screw It, Let's Do It is a really captivating read, full of valuable insights and inspiring anecdotes.
It really is.
It's a book that challenges us to think differently about success, about risk, about the power of human connection, and about our own potential to make a difference in the world.
It encourages us to step outside of our comfort zones, to embrace the unknown, and to live a life that is both fulfilling and impactful.
We encourage you to explore the source material further. See what resonates most with you.
Maybe it's the just do it spirit, the importance of calculated risk-taking, the value of building strong relationships, or the commitment to using your success to make a positive impact.
Whatever it is, we hope this deep dive has provided you with some food for thought and some inspiration to live a life that is both meaningful and exciting.
Thanks for joining us on this journey into the world of Richard Branson. Remember, the most important takeaway is this: don't be afraid to challenge yourself to embrace the unknown and to use your unique gifts and talents to make the world a better place.
Sometimes you just got to say, screw it, let's do it.
And on that note, we'll sign off. Thanks for listening, and until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep pushing those boundaries.